I'm Charles Laird.
I'm Cy Laird.
We're at Rock Creek Woodlands, which is a former logging camp near the town of Vernonia, Oregon. We have a little over 100 acres with about 30% of that in riparian. We've been here since 1970s. The history of this logging camp was that it came from the purchase of hundreds of thousands of acres, Oregon American Lumber Company. The company never actually clear-cut our property. This place had retained a tremendous mixture of all the species and multi-aged species. The loggers called it an alder patch, pretty almost to a person. But we didn't think it was an alder patch. We knew that there were older conifers in here. Eventually we had a cruise that revealed about 50% conifers and 50% hardwoods. We embarked on a search for a logger who was willing to thin the hardwood. That initial thinning was very important to us, also for infrastructure. It required a bridge across Rock Creek. Judy and I and by then a neighbor, Corey Colburn, who is still a neighbor, did a lot of planting of Doug fir and western red cedar. We knew that these older trees were more valuable, not only economically, but biologically valuable. They were providing habitat. I think Judy and I were really clear about what we wanted and what we loved, the coastal rainforests. Our preference is to nudge it back to a more natural forest than it was when we got it. A center part to this forest, is the river, which traverses for almost 3/4 of a mile. It's a serious riparian area. That's where you see alder and maple, alder especially, becoming big and old, 24 to 30-inch diameters. We were happy with that. We tried to get other things established, but in many places it's just too wet.
Water feeds the town of Vernonia. So both for our own enjoyment and the fish spawning and the town downstream, we try to make decisions that go beyond best practices to preserve this resource.
Our riparian has reed canary grass and invasive species, and this makes it especially hard to get natural reseeding of alder.
Since I moved here 10 years ago, we've been trying different strategies and bringing in more shrubs to those areas. Also, when I can get my hands on yew, they've been doing really well in riparian areas. We're trying to work with NRCS more recently on some of the reed canary and planting other species for the riparian areas. Our bridge became a little more vulnerable as the river has been cutting away one of the banks. And so in talking with Maggie Payton, we made a plan to add gabion cages along one edge and worked with Department of Forestry to get permission to do that. In the past, we think we've had some cost share help with replanting western red cedar and Doug fir through NRCS, and hope to do that again with the next round of plantings.
I think the importance of our management plan is twofold. One, it alerts the representatives who come out and have on-site visits and conferences. It alerts them to a slightly different way or major different way to do things. Well, we're always happy when we have the Forest Field Day out here. We've had young people who are interested in forestry out, and this weekend, for example, to learn about how we were able to nudge a forest in a direction. Now with 4 cruises going back about 45 years, we can actually provide data on one case study to show how a forest is responding. I think owning a forest is a transformative experience. It changes how you see the world and your life.